Hey guys, what's going on? First thing we're going to go over is the 3 different zones of Olm's line of sight. He doesn't see the entire room all at one point, and he has to turn his head to see the different zones. The first is the center zone, where Olm sees everything from the pinky of the mage hand all the way to the index finger of the melee hand. The next is when Olm is looking to the left, he can see everything from the center line all the way to the left-hand side of your screen. And finally, when Olm is looking over to the right, he can see everything from the center line all the way to the right-hand side of the screen. Olm will attack every 4 ticks in a 4 attack cycle, starting with auto attack 1, followed by a null or an empty event, followed by auto attack 2, and finally with a special attack, where the cycle repeats. Olm's auto attacks could either be a major range attack, a prayer orb, or a phase-specific attack. Back to being inside the raid, you can see that if I constantly stay outside of Olm's vision, he will never attack me. And although he can never attack me, he's constantly staying in that 4 attack cycle, going from auto 1 to null to auto 2 to special. And if I ever am seen by him, he will continue wherever he is in the cycle. We now know that by turning Olm's head and being outside of his line of sight, we can dodge some of his attacks. The most important one to dodge being his special attacks. Starting off with an example of 4-1 done properly, I'm attacking the tick after Olm attacks me. In this situation, I'm immediately on tick and in cycle. Let's go over a couple of examples where you can have a standardized setup to get into cycle and how to handle when you're on the correct attack tick, but not in cycle. There's one more mechanic we have to look over before we move on to the last section though. That is the catch-up mechanic, the least discussed and explained mechanic in any guide on the subject. When Olm cannot see you for one of his attacks, he performs both the skipped attack and his next attack in the cycle on the same tick. This applies to every attack in the cycle except specials. This is a big reason why skipping specials is a viable strategy. Let's take a look at what happens if we skip, say, an auto attack as opposed to a special. We'll see auto attack 1 come through, then we see the null. Now let's skip auto attack 2. On the next event, we see a catchup attack. Let's take a look at that again in slow motion. You'll see that we skip auto attack 2, but in spite of that, on the next event, we see that Olm performs that along with the special. And here we have one more example. This time, instead of skipping the auto attack 2, we're going to be skipping auto attack 1, where you see auto attack 1 will end up being paired with the null event. This is a learner-friendly setup for 4-1. Starting on the mage hand, click the melee hand on the same tick that Olm turns his head. As you get better at 4-1, you won't need this crutch, but it will help you get a feel for the timing in the beginning. Olm flamewalled, so we can't continue our cycle. To avoid damage, I run back to the setup and start over. Olm attacks us with 2 auto attacks quickly in the cycle, back to back. If we don't correct this, we'll be in a 4-2 cycle. To fix this, on the next rotation, we'll do a 3-1, skipping an attack on the far side, and this will realign us into 4-1. It's easy for me to say why that fixes it, but how about we take a look at that again, but with perfect information about where in the cycle we actually are. Coming from the other side, we don't have to know exactly where in the cycle we are. It's helpful, but not necessary. We see his first attack is a special and a nulled auto. Then we have auto 1 comes next. Unfortunately, it's a flame wall, so we start over. Even if we're completely lost at this point, it's okay. Just wait and see. Auto 1, auto 2. Okay, do a 3-1 and it's corrected. Because if we do a 3-1, it'll move everything to the right. Special ends up on the pinky, which is exactly where we want it to skip. Now we're back in 4-1. Here, Olm Special attacks us on our 4th hit. Typically, you'll be told to sit here and attack 3 times while Olm hits you. I don't like this method, even if it's correct, because I swear Olm always flame walls my path and I have to reset the cycle regardless. If you're comfortable doing that, attack 3 times, then run to the left. Otherwise, I run to the pinky, back to the left side of the head, and jump directly back into 4-1. This method loses 2 attacks on Olm, but there's a 0% chance of an annoying flame wall ruining your day. To end off here, I'm going to show a couple of clips. Try to see if you can tell if we are in cycle, not in cycle, and how to fix if we're not in cycle. Alright, pause here and take the time to figure out what you think you should do from this point, if we are in cycle, if we're not in cycle, and what we could do to fix it if we aren't. Well, Olm attacked us twice and there was no special attack. This means that we must 3-1 in order to correct the cycle. I also get acid walked, which is kind of annoying. If you're new to 4-1 Olm, acid walking might be a bit hard to do. It might just be best to walk off to the side, wait out the acid, and then restart your cycle. Little side note, in case I forgot to mention it earlier, when I walk against the wall in 4-1, the point is to be dodging the flame wall, as the flame wall cannot spawn on the wall, and that's the only attack tick that Olm has on me in 4-1. Here's another quick example of Olm specking us on our 4th hit. So, he's going to crystal us here. I'm going to run to the left side of Olm's head, get my attack in, skip my 3rd attack, run all the way back to the start, and start over. 0% chance I get flame walled or any interruptions, and I'm instantly back into 4-1. So it's that part of the video where I'm supposed to ask you guys to comment, like, and subscribe if you found any of this useful, but really I just want to thank anybody over the past year or so when I wasn't able to upload or really put any content out. I gained over 600 or 700 subscribers in that time, was left tons of comments that really made me happy that I put anything out there to begin with. I could never have imagined the amount of support I would have from people that I know nothing about. Just wanted to say thank you guys for honestly just putting a smile on my face when I was really going through it. So, thank you.